the matter is, Dad already has enough ties. If you really want to show your father you care this Father's Day, I've got 2 words for you. Bacon jam. It's real and it's amazing. So you may have heard of bacon jam. It is basically a smoky, savory, sweet mixture of bacon and caramelized onions and a lot of rich flavors that all come together to create this incredible spread. Now, if you've never tried it before, bear with me. Some of the ingredients may sound a bit peculiar, but believe me, when it all comes together, it is a thing of beauty. So we are starting with a pound of good bacon. I asked my butcher to cut it for me. It's a beautiful thing. Now we're just gonna cut it into bits. I'm using a Dutch oven for this recipe, but you could also use a heavy bottomed pan if that's all you have on hand. What we wanna do is render off all the fat and get the bacon cooked until it's crispy. A good sign is when the bacon starts foaming. That means it's pretty much there. Once the bacon's crispy, we are going to dump it into a strainer and we're going to reserve 2 tablespoons of bacon fat. Hear that? That's how we're going to cook our delicious red onions. So I have 2 gorgeous large red onions. I'm going to cut them all up, chop them up. What I love about this recipe is that it's not fussy, so you can use big hunkin' chunks of onions. And then into the bacon fat they go, and we're gonna let them cook down until they're completely soft and caramelized. We're talking maybe 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how hot the heat on your stove is. Now when it comes to caramelized onions, the fact of the matter is you cannot rush perfection. So we're just gonna add a heaping helping of garlic. I've got about 3 cloves minced in here. And then we're gonna leave this maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. And then we're going to add our bacon back into the pan. So now we have the sweetness of the onions and the salty smokiness of the bacon. And to that we are going to add some pure maple syrup. Then a little bit of strong brewed coffee. Now this sounds peculiar, but imagine the richness of coffee and how that's gonna enhance all of these beautiful flavors. Then we're gonna kick this up a notch with a little bit of bourbon. Now bourbon has a beautiful smoky flavor on its own, and it's just gonna take this to the next level. If you're not into adding liquor, that's totally fine. You can add a little bit more balsamic vinegar. Add about 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Then we're gonna cook this all down until it becomes a rich, syrupy, beautiful consistency. And that, my dears, is bacon jam. If you want to keep it chunky, you can totally leave it as is. If you want it a little smoother, run it through the food processor or the blender for a few pulses, and it will create sort of a more jam-like consistency. This is the gorgeous texture we are looking for. You can see that almost all of the liquid is gone from the pot. The flavors are now incredibly concentrated. We just need to put this in a jar and serve it. And there you have it, bacon jam. You can spread it on grilled cheese, on burgers. You could even serve it over ice cream. All you have to do is put it in a jar and it'll last for up to a week in the refrigerator. Your dad will absolutely love you for it. Be sure to subscribe to the Domestic Geek for all sorts of delicious dishes just like this one, and of course, lots of tips, tricks, and shortcuts to make your life easier.